King Productions presents the BearDown Corner with your host, Sergeant Cornholio. Yo, everybody. Sergeant Cornholio here with another episode of the BearDown Corner. We are here for a Super Bowl follow-up edition of the BearDown Corner. Our first. And honestly, we're going to just dive right into it. What a game. Oh my goodness gracious. We had the Kansas City Chiefs trying to go for their three-peat. And lo and behold, the saviors of the NFL season and the last 3 years of tribulations of watching a good Chiefs team with controversy of, referees favoring too much. You have, calls always going their way, but in reality, yeah, maybe some of it, but you also got to think though, like, we're talking about the league of all these NFL refs basically swaying their way to dictate every game the way they want. Well, here's the thing. A team in the regular season isn't going to get the same refereeing crew more than maybe twice. So the fact that the whole group as a whole would be held accountable in the fact of, oh, you're favoring too much. I don't think that many refs want to see the Chiefs do that well. They do play tough. But you know who played tougher on Sunday? The Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, so much satisfaction watching the way that defense handled the high power octane of the Kansas City offense. The Kansas City hasn't had a high octane offense. They play hard grit nose football and we're getting it done. But then they ran into a wall. Because what would you do as a Philadelphia defensive player if you're getting told all week in the media week leading up to the Super Bowl, oh, they're going to get the three-peat. They're going to get the three-peat. Man, if I was them, I'd be boiled blood too. And that's exactly what they did. They sacked the shit out of fucking Patrick Mahomes like he was just a beating bag. That's it. They broke the line, I think, on 39% of the pass rush. They broke the line and were pressuring him. They ate him up. Like, holy crap, you had fucking, where's his name? Milton Williams. This man, okay, he had 2 of the 6 sacks for the Eagles and a forced fumble with a fumble recovery. They did not let off the gas whatsoever. You have Cooper Deshaun, a rookie, okay, number 33. He had a couple really good punt returns earlier in the game, got some excitement, played hell on defense, and then his big moment came. Return touchdown in the Super Bowl on an interception. They picked off Mahomes twice, sacked him 6. 39% of the time were breaking through the line on the pass rush. They didn't run the ball worth shit because they couldn't. They went down 24-0. 24-0 by the beginning of the first half. And what did Kansas City and all the commentators and all that try and talk about? Oh, Kansas City's going to find a way. They just got to get one drive. And defense, you can hold for us, right? No. First drive, second half, they just shit all over the fucking Kansas City Chiefs. Honestly, it was mastery at its finest, watching a defense play under Vic Fangio. Fangio? Is that it? I've always had trouble pronouncing his name, even when he was the DC in Chicago. But Vic Fangio, ladies and gentlemen, was a mastermind on Sunday. He was drawing up plays that took Travis Kelce and the rest of all them wide receivers out for a loop. They had no idea what was going on. No idea. Like, the only consistency, and this was in what I consider garbage time play, was Xavier Worthy was a bright spot in a loss where he had 8 catches for 2 touchdowns. What was it? 157 yards, right? Now, the first drive, he made a hell of a touchdown catch, but by that point, they were already down like 3.5 scores. The game was out of hand. The Kansas City Chiefs got completely plummeted and walloped this Sunday in the Super Bowl. And you know what? It happens. It happens. You have blowouts like that. You're not always going to have a tight-knit game in the Super Bowl. You're going to have teams that they just stumped against the wall because, I'm sorry, as great as the KC defense had been all season, they came out one short in their three-peat quest because Saquon and that offense weren't having any of it. Jalen Hurts, ladies and gentlemen, Jalen Hurts, 2 pass touchdowns to each of his star receivers, okay? Bomb off to Devontae Smith. Then he drops one over to A.J. Brown. He's like, here, come get some. Let me feed you. Runs one in himself on what actually would have been a 3rd touchdown pass to start the game, but Buddy's knee came down at the 1 or 2, I think it was. So they just push that shit in. But, like, my goodness, what a phenomenal performance. He went 17 of 22, right? This man didn't have to do crazy things. He just took advantage of every opportunity, whether it was from a turnover or from, whatever parts of the game where he just knew what he had to do. He learned in that first loss. And this team actually got better than that last team. Defensive line got younger, faster, and hungrier. The back end got revamped a bit with some trades and some signings. You had on offense, you go out and sign Saquon fucking Barkley, ladies and gentlemen. MVP runner-up, let's be honest, if you're at the running back position. Throw out the fact that I like Josh Allen, but he outbeat Lamar Jackson in always a quarterback-driven award, right? But Saquon Barkley was an MVP candidate this year. Let's not kid ourselves. 2,000 yards, and the way he did it, no. It all came together, and this is scarily to say not the end for the Eagles. They could definitely repeat on their own premise next year. But 40-22, the final in the Super Bowl, in what was a blowout of a Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl champions, 2024 season. Congratulations from us here at the BearDown Corner, myself, Sergeant Cornholio, and into the 2025 season we go. With that, we will hop into the first segment of the off season, which is just going to be standard, like around the league kind of stuff. But hey, stay tuned. Got some fun in there for you, right? Got a little bit of stories. We have the 49ers with Brock Purdy. So higher ups are saying they'll do whatever they need to figure out to keep Brock Purdy. And we learned also earlier this week, Deebo Samuel has requested a trade out of San Francisco. So that's going to bring some extra cap space because they're gonna pay him top tier money. He's a top 10 quarterback. So you're going to see that whole team shift in a different way. But hey, Buffalo had to do it, right? They had some top tier cap guys that were sucking on money at the receiver position. They've cut ties with some of them. They go and get Amari Cooper this season to kind of bolster it up a bit. Wasn't quite, but they came close. So next year, it's going to be interesting to see Josh Allen and the Bills, Mahomes and the Chiefs. You got the Eagles out in the NFC. You got Detroit still. Minnesota's knocking at the door. They're just a quarterback away, right? They got some decisions to make. Justin Jefferson came out in the week literally stating the same thing. We're not that far off. We're a tweaker piece away, right? Get a guy on defense to fill a hole or two. You maybe front your line a bit. I don't know. Like, are J.J. McCarthy? Are you going to go back to Sam Darnold? He's earned himself a big contract in free agency. Like, you're gonna notice that, 49ers. You're not paying a rookie quarterback contract no more. So prepare to see things different, 49er fans. Cowboys. Here's an interesting one. In a report, Cowboys brass had an internal meeting to discuss the future of Micah Parsons. Top 5 defensive player in the league, top 10, whatever you want to call it. He's, top 5 in sacks since he came in. And he came out and even said, look, I'll take less of a pay cut just to get Garrett from the Browns here. Myles Garrett. He wants to bring him to the Cowboys. He'll take a pay cut. He already said he wanted to be the highest paid player before, but now he changes his tune. So he's like, no, I want to win, and I want to win in Dallas. But to do that, we need more fucking pieces where we can rush the goddamn quarterback. And now they're talking about maybe trade him. So that's, little noteworthy thing to take a look at if you're a Cowboys fan. Here is one for New York Jets people out there. Jay Glazer from Fox has reported that Aaron Rodgers has been informed he will not be returning for the 2025 season. So that leaves New York with a handful of pick guys that they went out and signed for him when he came 2 years ago. Not the case anymore. No. Instead, they're going to move forward in whether it's signing or drafting a quarterback. They got pieces there. They don't have to blow it all up completely. Just change your quarterback, right? You went and got a new head coach. You got a new GM. See what magic they can stir up, right? Let's see what they can bring forth to the New York Jets fan base. It'll be fun to watch. I know Devontae Adams will probably be on his way out. He's talked about maybe wanting to play on the West Coast, like one of the LA teams or maybe 49ers. But there's also been talk about maybe him reconnecting in Green Bay as a, veteran wideout. There's been some talks from other veterans from Green Bay reaching out, right? Maybe even Josh Jacobs as he's talked to Devontae. We'll see if a reunion is spurned up in there. Let's finish off with the head coaching carousel of 2025 season heading in. The New Orleans Saints are the last team, and it's looking like all reports and signs are pointing to Kellen Moore of the Philadelphia Eagles, offensive coordinator, expected to be announced as the next head coach of the New Orleans Saints. We'll see if that comes to fruition or they pull a quick one and change that last minute. But that is just reports, nothing official yet. We have Schrader, is it Schrader? Schrader Sanders? Is that it? I think so. Yeah. Quarterback, Colorado State. You got Travis Hunter, wide receiver corner, coming out of Colorado State, and Cam Ward out of Miami. Those are some of the top picks looking. The reason I mentioned this heading into the beginnings of some draft talk is simply Tennessee Titans, again, a report. We're going to have more confirmation once other sources come forth, but right now they're entertaining the idea maybe trading the first overall pick. Now, do you do that after you seen what you had with Mason Rudolph and goddamn Will Levis this year? I think you just go and draft your goddamn guy. Like, you already did this once with fucking Carson Wentz. Now, mind you, we all seen how that played out, but I don't know, man. Like, you have an opportunity and you just give it away. Don't do it, Tennessee. Go draft your guys a quarterback. Go get you a future franchise QB if they're meant to be that. Right? Don't sit on this one. Go for it. Anyway, Titans looking to maybe trade away, get the same kind of package the Bears did. If teams think that those players are worth it, that's the key. That is the key. Dick Geron, former head coach of the Bears and the Bills, has passed at age 74. Condolences to the family and friends of that. And also something that was brought to my attention, literally, like, I hadn't even checked football that day, and I got information from a buddy of mine from my Oxbow Poolies. Mr. Mark brought to my attention the day of Virginia McCaskey. Bears fans, bear down and give love to the McCaskey family. the daughter of the late, great George Halas, has passed at 102. And she was kind of a gem, right? One of them last old gunslingers from that era, had all the stories, had all the clusterfucks that came with the passing of her dad, and dealt with all the shit with her family to keep the ownership in the vision of Halas. So that will be a great loss, but hey, we pick up, we move on, we get stronger, and condolences out to the family and all of Bears Nation as we soak this one in. But hey, 102 though, holy shit. I can only imagine the fun times and stories that lady had. But love out to the McCaskey family. Here is another fun little tidbit. Tyreek Hill came out on recent episodes and had Chris Sims on, I think, a podcast or whatever it was. Chris Sims, who we know from ESPN and stuff like that, was interviewing Tyreek Hill recently, and it came to the attention of Tyreek that he needed to maybe do a little backpedaling from his comments at the season-ending interviews in Week 18 there. So he's come out and basically more or less apologized to not just the team that he wants to be back, but also to his quarterback, where he was like, I love you, Tua. Let's go get it next season, right? Like, he had some relationships to repair. And as much as understandable, I can understand frustration at times of that, there was still a certain composure you needed to hold, and you did not do so. So, I don't know. If I'm the Dolphins, maybe we have a little side talk, right? Keep it in-house. Quit this fucking diva shit, Hill. Seriously. It's time to fucking grow up. Or quit the NFL and go continue whatever life you want to live. But anyway, he needs to get his shit in order and move on. And then, of course, an announcement by Mr. Roger Goodell to let the international fans know the first game in Ireland will be played by none other than the Pittsburgh Steelers next season in 2025. That is some of your around the league news and notes, and we will have more next week at the BearDown Corner. This is just a nice little quick episode. We're in kind of the off-season mode now. We're going to still be bringing to you all the news highlights and whatever else we can find, so don't forget to tune in next week when we get back to it here at the BearDown Corner. I'm Sergeant Cornholio. Thank you for tuning in. It has been my pleasure to have this time with you, and you all have a wonderful day, and we will catch you the next time.